all heard of this thing called courage? You need to be courageous. You need to be courageous. But how? So this video is actually coming to you as a gift. In this video, I'm going to share something that I never shared online because I've been sharing this with my clients one-on-one very privately. So I'm going to share a little bit of that, which absolutely going to transform your life if you watch it till the end, and also if you watch it very intently and mindfully, leaving all the distractions. If you watch it till the end, man, you're lucky. So the subject is courage, and why is it important, and what courage is, and how you can develop it, and is there a way to develop it? There is a way to develop it, and you're gonna learn all of that. See, in my profession, I'm a leadership coach, I'm a sales coach, I also coach sports professionals. So when these people come to me, they come for leadership tools, strategies, sales tips, tactics, etc. I always seen that there's a problem in their character that actually caused them not to produce that result. One of the problem is they didn't develop this thing called courage. Now, we all heard of this thing called courage. You need to be courageous. You need to be courageous. But how? Are you born with it? Right? Some people have it, seemingly have it. Some people seemingly don't have it at all. There's no such thing. It's a delusion. All of us, every single human being is actually built in, have a huge, enormous, infinite amount of courage. It's just that when you're born into this society and we listen to all these limiting talks, limiting beliefs, and all the limitations of all the people that you believe, and you're going to believe it, and you can contract yourself. So to understand the depth of the meaning of courage and how important it is, what an essential element for you, that you need to have this courage to develop your character, your soul expands or contracts in proportion to the amount of courage you have developed within. That's how serious this problem is, or that's how serious this matter or the subject is. But yet, we don't actually learn it methodically, properly in our school system or any of the institutional systems or even our household systems. They don't actually properly teach you. So that's a problem. So you're lucky if you're watching this, and let's crack on. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Ramindu Randeni. As I mentioned, I'm a corporate leadership coach, a business coach, a sports performance coach, and these are what I do, and deep dive day in and out in 2 words: human behavior. That's my speciality. That's my passion, my gift, my skills, which I deep dive 7 days a week. So courage. Now, how do you develop it? First of all, as I mentioned, it's absolutely important. And one of the things that I've seen in the Asian context, there are a lot of people who wonder why some of the crooks in the world, some of the people who are not following Dhamma, right? And they're not righteous, they're bad, quote unquote bad people, but they're very successful, right? So what about the Eastern philosophy that we talk about the karmic, consequence of karma and the defilement and all sorts of things? They seem to have no problem with it. But here's the secret. Universe treats the person who has courage. Universe treats the person who is skillful. For you to be really skillful, you need to show a certain discipline. To show us discipline, you need to have a great amount of courage showcasing or exuding from you to build that discipline. Because discipline is something that you have to show consistently, and that's where a vast majority fail. So if someone, regardless of his moralities, if that person shows courage, discipline, and focus towards one skill, it seems to be universe has a special place for that person, and that person becomes successful because of that. Obviously, later on, he's going to pay the penalty of the consequences, worldly or beyond this world. That's just what I believe. But however, he's going to be successful. Now, if you think that I'm a good guy, I have a righteous lifestyle, right? I have no harm for others, or to do anything wrong. And then you are sleeping extra hours in the bed and you're just in the couch browsing through TikTok videos and you think that why am I not successful? Guess what? That's exactly why you're not successful. You need to show courage, you need to show discipline in order for you to develop and to win in this world. Now, how do you develop courage? I'll give you a few techniques which you can put into use immediately after this video. And as I always explain that you cannot do a brain surgery through a YouTube video, right? So some of those extremely deep elements which I talk about in my Honorable Company membership as well as my Leadership Academy, I put them aside. There's a link to inquire if there's a position available to enroll in our Leadership Academy if you're really driven. We have a very small group we train at any given time. The group coaching number is under 30 and I only coach 11 people one-on-one. If there's space available, you're lucky, and obviously you have to be very driven and you have to want it so badly, and that's where this leadership academy is for. Now, for the rest of you, put these techniques into use immediately after this video. I can guarantee you in another 3 weeks time, there's a significant difference in your character. 3 weeks, not 3 years, 3 weeks time. If you walk on this path for 3 months, you'll be surprised as to where you are and how you were 3 months ago and how you are in 3 months. That's what it takes, just 3 months. But you have to be consistent. Here are the methodologies. One technique is first of all, look around the people that you associate and listen into all the time. There are 2, 3, 4, 5 people that you constantly meet and talk. What do they tell you? Do they talk about how things cannot be done, how difficult it is, and how tired they are, how lazy they are? They're thinking of when is the earliest, soonest vacation, the long weekend that they can find. Well, you're not in a good environment to develop courage, because you need to stay in an environment where you're going to get challenged with standards, high standards. You're challenged, so you need to challenge yourself within in order to develop this courage. And the courage, like I said, is infinite amount, is actually vested in us. It's just that we don't know how to ignite that power. There are a few ways to do that, which I'm going to share. So change the environment, and if you are not in a position to change that physical environment, take this YouTube channel as your association and listen to more of it. If you listen to this video 100 times, it's million times better than a conversation with a person who has not driven at all and he doesn't have high standards of living. Then the next thing is you need to challenge yourself. You need to do something, I say routinely, weekly, that actually challenge your normal skill level, to challenge yourself. Let's say, for example, you go to gym. I'll take this gym example to do weightlifting. You go into bench press, and let's say you do 8 reps, 3 sets. At the end of third set, you do the 8th rep. Hypothetically, let's imagine you're now exhausted. You're completely burnt out, your energies, you're flat on the bench and you're panting and you're trying to get up from the bench. You're done, seemingly done. Now I want you to take a little bit of rest, maybe 30 seconds, not even a minute, but 30 seconds. Take a deep breath. Do one more rep with an assistant of a coach or trainer, because you have to understand that you're introducing this to the body. And if there's any little bit of off balance, you might get into injuries. Don't be stupid. So do it wisely, but do one more. Let's say push-ups. You do 50 push-ups. That's your grand total. That's the maximum you can do. You're exhausted. Now you can't do any more. You're done. And then 30 seconds rest. Do 5 more. Let's take another completely different example. You do 100 sales calls today. And that's the absolute max you can do. 100 sales, and you're exhausted. The time is up. Everyone has gone home, and you feel like, oh man, I'm done. I'm really exhausted right now. Take a little break. Take 5 more calls. So this one more rep, 1 degree that you push yourself on daily basis or at least weekly basis, that's where your transformation, or the great transformation, lies. That's where that great self that really screaming inside of you for decades and decades lies. You have to take that step. It's not going to come from the air. You have to do that step for yourself. Okay? So do one more. That's a secret recipe. and the tiny little action that will transform the entire life, man, entire life. You do that for 3 months and you will thank me later. See, the thing is like, this is where a lot of people are going to fail, and they will fail. Unfortunately, looking at the history, probably 99.9% of the people on earth, they're going to fail before this whole element called courage, because they're not going to develop it, because the nature itself is not built for you to showcase this. We're stuck in a system. In Buddhism, we call it samsara chakra, or samsara, the cycle of samsara. It's actually made for you to just survive, not to thrive, just survive, and to have a hedonistic lifestyle, to be attached, to be indulged, and just to defile yourself. Very, very easy to defile yourself. So you have to understand, when the moment you start doing that, except for my channel, except for maybe 1 or 2 people, there are going to be a very, very less close people environment is there to help you. So you have to do it by yourself. Okay? So that's why the Greek philosophers say enthusiasm is common, but the endurance is rare. To start something, do something, everybody's enthusiastic for just a little while. A few days, a few weeks, a few months, vast majority drop out. But the endurance to push yourself on the days that you don't feel like, to do one more, to carry on when there are economic downturns, there are geographical, there are weather changes, there's flood, there are other issues, there are family, your family goes through different crises, you get sick, loads of things happen. And through this, if you keep on grinding yourself, that's what we call endurance. You show endurance. It's a very rare characteristic, and that's where your greater self lies. For that, you need to have courage. So instead of waiting some crisis happen, I want you to, like I said at the beginning, etch that into your weekly schedule. Like for instance, for me, I get up in the morning, I push myself to go to gym. There are a lot of days that I don't feel like it because there are a lot of things to do. Right now, my life, those who know me, that I have 2 different YouTube channels itself. One is English, the other one is my local language, Sinhalese. We have 2 big missions for both, and I'm developing online courses. I have my one-on-one coaching, I have my group coaching. So there's a lot of content we are producing, and lots of other logistics things are happening as well. I have to hit gym for 4 days. I do yoga for 4 days. I meditate for 7 days. I play golf for about 2 to 3 days. So I need to have discipline pro max in order for me to fulfill this extremely high standard that I set for myself. So there are days I feel like, you know what, forget the gym. I got a lot of important work. Let me do it, because there's nobody there to penalize you for not going to the gym, isn't it? But that's where you actually build your courage muscle, because you showcase that extra element to push yourself and to go there. So you have to give a direct command. Your body sometimes influences you. And that's why I say to body, shut up. I take care of you. I feed you. I give all the comfort. Now shut your mouth and go to the gym. So you be your own leader. So this is one of the ways that you can develop your courage. So as I explained, the second most important thing is bring an empowering language. As my leadership academy stand upon these 3 pillars. One thing is the focus, second thing is body, learn about body and how to move your body, and thirdly about the language. There's inner language and there's the outer language. So you need to use a very empowering language. With the language I bring, this thing is very, very, very popular among the people who practice law of attraction, which is affirmations. You need to have your own words. From your own words, you need to have a very empowering few lines that you utter in your mind or with sound that you tell yourself in the moments of weakness. The moment you feel like you don't feel like doing it, you need to have 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences that you have created for yourself. Equip yourself with that. One of the exercises, probably, if you don't have it, as soon as the video is over, write those lines and take a screenshot, keep it in your phone, start repeating it all the time. So affirmations are actually a wonderful and extremely powerful and effective, practical way of igniting your courage within. Using a powerful language like, I know I'm strong, this is not a big deal. This is a walk in the park. I know I have extra more energy. I feel like I don't have it, but I have. To become the world #1, to become the best in the country, that person is inside of me. I know that. Others might not see it. I know it, and I'm going to ignite that. I have the courage. I'm emotionally extremely strong. Yes, I was weak a few years ago, but I know I have that extremely strong, emotionally strong, powerful personality within me. I can show absolute world-class discipline for the next 1 year ahead. And I can show that. I have it and I'm going to show it. So this kind of empowering language, whatever the way that like I said, it triggers your energy, is actually awaken the giant within. Ignite your courage. So you need to incorporate a powerful language all the time and craft it beforehand. And you can't, the thing is that you won't be able to find it or craft it in the moments of darkness. You have to do it when you're in a good mood and beforehand, okay? And the next one is, like I said, courage is such a vast, very deep, incredible subject. So I'm going to share, like I said, few things for you to use straight away. The next one is, if you have any addiction, for instance, video games. If you're playing video games once a week for 1.5 hours to 2 hours, I don't think you have a problem. But if you're playing video games every evening till the late morning, you have a problem. Even if you're playing video games for a couple of hours every day, I think it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy and your focus, because you backfire in something extremely important. I'll come to that later. So video games, you stop that. If you decide, if you determine this thing is not going to give me success, I'm not going to be proud about myself 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years later, in retrospect, this is something that I'm going to regret, and you determine I'm going to stop it. The moment you stop it, guess what? It is going to haunt you. All the neurological training that you are given all this while, all the psychological conditioning that you are given all this while, and your association, probably your friends who actually created this environment, who always bug you to play games, all those things going to haunt you for the next many weeks to come. So your environment and you yourself is your greatest enemy, and the entire wrestling to stick to the decision that you have made, the struggle, the pressure, the stress that you have to go through for the next 3 weeks to come, that is your transformation. If you continue that consistently for 3 months, man, incredible transformation. You see, you feel like you are reborn. Same thing applies for porn addiction as well. Porn addiction is absolutely devastating addiction. If playing games and addiction to play games is bad, porn addiction is incredibly bad. It's extremely deeply bad and it hurts you. Most of the guys who are actually addicted to porn are guys, men, right? Because men are visual, women are emotional. Very, very few who probably out there who watch porn who are women, but vast majority are men. So it's going to hurt you. It's going to damage your personality. It's going to kill your neurochemical reactions and so many million things going wrong there. So if you determine to come out of it, and if you go through hell for the next few weeks, just few weeks, it's not going to kill you. You might feel like dying, but it's not going to kill you. 3 months down the line, that itself going to upgrade your personality, your character that you always urge, you always aspire to be. Another addiction could be intoxicants, weed, alcohol, tobacco. And if you're addicted to junk food, all those things that if you come out of it 2-3 weeks and like I said 3 months, that whole process is going to upgrade your courage, and suddenly you have so much of courage in your system, and whatever you apply, you seems to thrive. You seems to have some sort of extraordinary energy and a skill and a focus, and others wonder, how do you have this? Right? So the discipline and the commitment, the consistency that you show is different level. As I said, you're extremely lucky if you watch this video till the end, and this character is absolutely important. Impart something from Eastern philosophy. A character called Bodhisattva, character who before becoming a Buddha, the enlightened one. He has to go through, Buddhists believe, for millions or billions or trillions of lifetime as a bodhisattva, training to that position to become a Buddha. So he has to go through 10 paramita, or the 10 practices that he had to sacrifice himself. One of the practices that among 10 is develop virya, or the courage. It's called virya paramita, or the courage. So to build that incredibly alpha personality, who's gonna liberate all of us from the darkness, he needs to develop courage. One of the way that they have explained and advised to a bodhisattva is that he needs to be in a challenging environment, that he needs to be challenged. And if you are watching this so far, well done. First of all, well done. I really admire you. And which means that you actually have an urge to develop yourself. So well done. And ask yourself, am I being challenged? Am I in a challenging environment? Or am I rejecting and shying away from exactly the thing that I've been challenged, and then wonder, why am I not developing? Why am I not successful? Why am I not wealthy? Why am I not strong? Because you rejected it, because you shy away. So now you know what to embrace. Embrace the challenges, whatever it is, and go through it. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's going to be absolutely worth it, because you'll be very, very happy, proud about yourself for doing what you did. Not 30 years from now. 30 years from now, you'll be really loving it. 3 months from now, you'll be very happy you made this shift. And like I said, that makes such a significant transformation when you come and started walking on this path. So wish you all the best. And as I mentioned, I said that in Sinhalese as well, said in English as well. You need to have very, very powerful, empowering language if you walk on this path. Like I said, you need to have affirmations. So one of the things that I share in public is, I may fall, but you can never beat me. You can slow me down, but you'll never stop my journey. Wish you all the best. Live with spirit. Hey, this is Ramindu Randeni. I'm a business coach, corporate leadership coach, and I coach sales forces. Who are we before the world? And welcome to my channel.